Hey guys, it's Amanda Glendo here with Keller Williams and the Glendo Real Estate Group. We're what is it? How do you do the movie thing? It's like cut two or something.
Oh yeah, scene two.
Act two. The connection was not very good, so let me know if it's still kind of flaky in here. I did connect to the Wi-Fi. So anyways, here for the February buyer seller video, we're going to talk about the benefits of getting a home warranty. I have the pleasure of interviewing Jennifer Gagne with HMS Home Warranty, and she's going to go over why you should get a home warranty from a buyer's perspective and why you should look at getting a home warranty from a seller's perspective. So I'm going to flip it around to her and she's going to answer any questions. If you guys have questions while we are doing this interview, feel free to chime in and I will ask her those as we're going. So I'll flip it over right now. Hey, Jennifer.
Hello.
So tell us a little bit. Does everybody know Jennifer? So we are going to talk about let's talk about like benefits of the doing a home warranty from a buyer's perspective.
Okay. So from a buyer's perspective, home warranties, especially an upgraded plan, it's the best way for you to manage your yearly budget around home ownership. Because what it's going to do is it's going to cover the major systems and appliances for repair or replacement. Anytime something mechanical fails due to normal wear and tear, you're going to see coverage for that.
Okay.
You know, under base plans for buyers, you can see some out-of-pocket costs, especially during furnace, AC, or water heater replacements. Mm-hmm. Things like permits, disposal of the old, things like that are typically not included with base plans.
Okay.
But if they look at an upgraded plan, you know, depending on the warranty company, it's a pretty minimal cost. Ours is $89, but it gives them an extra $1,000 of protection. So that's the plan they want to get. What it's going to do is, if the furnace fails in that first year, the AC system, the water heater, even the appliances, we're going to repair it, or if needed, replace it. And if you have that upgrade, we will cover those additional costs as well, up to $1,000. So realistically, you could say to yourself, you know, I've been looking at these homes with Amanda. We just went through an inspection. You know, that system was really old, but it was working fine. Highly recommend the home warranty. Put that upgrade on it. That way, when you're replacing it or something fails during that first year and we're replacing it for you, your out-of-pocket exposure is going to be really at maximum a couple $100 tops.
Okay.
That way they don't have that all of a sudden they have a $3,000 or $4,000 or sometimes even $5,000 expense out of nowhere. And especially when you've just purchased,
yeah,
you know, you put a lot into that purchase. So to have something like that happen, you know, can be financially devastating to someone out of nowhere. So definitely, if as a buyer, look at putting that protection on. If after the first year, you know, you've had some replacements or maybe you haven't had anything, you can always renew it on a monthly basis after that and keep that protection going.
So how does the monthly renewal work?
Sure. So when you get close to the end of that first year, we would reach out to you and say, would you like to renew it? If so, here are some options. Would you like to go on a monthly? Would you like to go on a quarterly sort of option to keep the protection in place after that?
Okay.
A lot of people really do use it year after year after year. So very similar to a lot of people out there used to Home Service Plus or gas companies plans. Those are great plans for some pretty simple repairs.
Yep.
But they typically have a lot of out-of-pocket costs when it comes to replacement.
Okay.
So it's going to be very similar to that, but with much more extensive coverage. So especially in that replacement area, it's going to give them really protect their pocketbook.
So give me an example of where a buyer got enrolled into the home warranty plan and was able to use it.
Okay, well, gosh, I got a lot of those. Okay, so I actually just had one of my best ones I had, or for the homeowner, it could have been very difficult had they not had a home warranty. I had actually Keller agent out of a different office. She had put the upgraded plan on for her buyer, and literally within the first week, we had a water heater replacement. Looked fine, everything looked great on the inspection, no issues there. But it failed right away. So we had the water heater replacement, and fast forward a few months, you know, we've been 8 claims in. We've had plumbing stoppages we fixed for her. We've had one was also a dryer we replaced. There's been numerous things over you know, a few month period that even at our cost, which is a wholesale, so quite a bit less than a retail cost, is thousands of dollars in.
Yeah.
And you know, she's really at this point only out a deductible each time. So,
and what is the deduct? Is each the different appliances a different deductible?
Yeah, so per claim. So you have a homeowner's responsible for up to the first $100 per claim placed. We do have a buy down option as well. So that particular buyer had a $50 deductible. They had added to the coverage to make that deductible less.
Okay.
But yeah, you would have that. In her case, we actually had 2 appliances that were having some issues at the same time. So we were able to place it under one claim and do one deductible.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't happen as often, but
Sure.
if it did, it's certainly an option.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's for homeowners that say, boy, and this is many. Actually, a article came out with NBC News a little while back, last in 2016, that said 60% of homeowners would have a difficult time paying an out-of-pocket expense that was more than $400.
Yep.
And I think I think that is probably a realistic number, that most people, if all of a sudden there was a $4 or $5 or even $1,000 expense, it could be very difficult. Warranties are great, a really good financial planning tool. So if you do that upgrade, there are very few situations outside of that where home warranties you're not going to see coverage. And that's depending on the policy. There are some that you're going to have more out of pocket. But with ours, if you do that upgraded plan, realistically, it's probably going to protect that homeowner from probably 95% of that.
The risk.
Exactly.
Yep.
Is it going to protect you from 100% of everything that can happen in a home? No. But it's definitely going to protect them from probably 90 to 95% of expenses that can happen when it comes to mechanical issues.
Sure. And so when can they get that coverage? When are you put a contract in, when are you able to do that? At closing, before closing? How does that work?
Yep. So if it was part of the contract, depending on how that was written, it can certainly be put in place, to start effective for that buyer at the date of close. It's going to run for 1 year. There are some benefits in there as well. So let's say they don't place a claim. Nothing's happened in the first 9 months. We would let them call in, and we'll give them up to $100 towards a maintenance visit as well for their HVAC system, so furnace and AC.
Okay.
So there's a benefit there for them as well. And there's also some other things. If they place a homeowner's insurance claim, let's say something happened where they had some hail come through and they have an insurance claim on their roof. If they send us a copy of what they've paid out on their deductible there, we would reimburse them up to $500.
Okay.
So there's some added benefits too, but
sure.
And that's kind of the free money. If something happens with their homeowner's policy, it doesn't have to be tied to a claim. It could be outside of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So now from a seller standpoint, I know I had briefly talked to you about why I started having my sellers do it, and it was more for the protection on, during that inspection period, and if there's anything that needed to get done during that time situation where a homeowner had a water heater break the day before closing, $900, and then also a seller that needed to replace a furnace because they wanted to have a professional inspection, and then the HVAC guy couldn't sign off on it, so they needed to pay $3,000 for that, that new furnace. Where if they would have had this warranty in place, they would have had that. They'd pay
could have been a claim.
Could have been a claim, yeah.
Could have been a
So
claim.
so tell us the benefits of having that.
Well, that's obviously one of the benefits. I just dealt with one last week that was a dishwasher at the final walkthrough. The buyer goes, it doesn't turn on.
Yeah.
And, in that case, the seller's able to place the claim. They happen to have negotiated out they would cover that deductible, but the buyer would finish the claim, and it was a replacement.
Yep.
So you're right. It's great for that. A lot of sellers in this market, it's definitely a hot seller's market. And a lot of sellers may think, gosh, do I really need it?
Right.
Things might sell quickly. It's not just about the marketing of the home. Obviously, that's an incentive for a buyer, but it's also from that point of contract. Once it goes under contract, a lot of times there's 30 to 45 days, sometimes longer, until the close, so you get that protection during that time.
Yeah.
But I think one of the most important things that sellers maybe don't look at when they look at a home warranty is the protection after the close.
Yes.
It's once that close happens, a seller likes to walk away and say, we've kind of done our thing. We've given our sellers disclosures. We've disclosed everything we need to, and now we're moving on. But when things happen very quickly after closings, those should be claims. And I was telling you years ago in my realtor days, I started using home warranties because my seller got a notice that they were going to small claims court for the stove. And the seller, of course, is feeling, well, why would it was working. They had a home inspection, it never came up. They had a final walkthrough, it never came up. So it clearly failed after or we would have heard about it
Yep.
before. But you know, they ended up in a situation in small claims, but where that could have had a home warranty been in place, that would have simply been a claim from the buyer.
Yep.
They would have just placed it, it would have been repaired or replaced, and they would have moved on. So it's a great tool for a seller to say, you know what, I'd like to make that clean break. I'm giving you everything I can. I've taken care of the disclosures. I'm giving you this warranty, and now I'm moving on from the property.
Yep.
And that's something I think a lot don't think about. It is that the claims during is definitely a huge value, but it's also that walking away clean, being able to let you move on,
Protecting during and then after the close.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. So, anything else you want to bring up that we might not know about from a home warranty standpoint, or like what a common misconception is for most people? Or why they don't need one, or
yes, I would say a lot of times, people will say this, well, it's a newer house, or the systems are only 5 or 10 years old. But the reality is, what we're seeing is, in 2015, just to give you an example, my 16 stats haven't come out yet, we had a 52% increase in appliance claims. And the average age of the appliance was 3 years. Oh. So I think that sometimes when a homeowner or buyer sees the appliances look newer, maybe they're 5 years old, maybe they're whatever. I have a home warranty on my own home with HMS, and my refrigerator is about 2.5 years old, and they replaced the fan motor. Okay. How could that go in that short time?
In 2.5 years, yeah.
But we're seeing appliances now are not quite made the way they used to be made. So we're seeing them fail sooner. Touch pads, control pads, the higher tech they get, the more repairs and the more claims we're seeing. Yeah. So I think that the misconception can be things maybe aren't as old as they need to be to require that protection, when they really do. If you're looking at appliances that are even a couple of years old, and furnaces realistically these days have probably a lifespan of maybe 10 to 15 years. So if that furnace is 10 years old, 15 years old, it's pretty common for us to be replacing systems at that age. Yeah. So definitely think about it as protection, even if these systems appear to be newer. Yeah. And the other thing I think we see in the warranty world is, homeowners or buyers, especially on the buy side, is if they have a base plan, all of a sudden we're in the middle of replacing their furnace, and they're surprised, why am I spending $700 when I have this warranty? Well, they had a base plan. And so for them, had they had that upgrade,
which is how much?
$89, we would have covered all of that. Yep. The average non-covered cost for replacement of furnace and ACs and even water heaters now is probably around, I would say $700 to $1,000 is pretty realistic. It's for permits. Anytime something needs to be modified to connect the old system up to the new one we're replacing it, or code issues are addressed, those are going to be outside of a base plan policy. So you do that $89 upgrade, it'll give you that $1,000. Yep. So that is usually what sends a buyer to say, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? Yep. If they didn't know about the upgrade, it can be shocking. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and for $80.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, what the heck?
Yeah. And I think at least they know it's out there. Yeah. So if they don't want it, that's okay. Yep. But they know it's out there.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm going to flip it around.
Okay.
All right. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and listening. And if you have any questions, make sure to contact Jennifer. If you have any questions about buying or selling, investing, building in real estate, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll get this posted and sent out to our database. And I appreciate everybody who is watching and liking the video. So thanks.